Radio Cayman,
the voice,
the heart, the soul of the Cayman Islands.
Oh, I think they're doing a great job. A lot of them are.
Good afternoon, Dwayne. How are you?
Not too bad, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today with Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. If you're ready to talk, we're willing to listen.
Well, I really enjoy this program today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
May God bless every person.
Hey, good afternoon. A wonderful fishing tournament to bring together the Eastern districts. The Honorable Minister of Agriculture and the Community Development Officer, and hopefully the MP for East End will join us. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, Tourism and Transport. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. And Savannah Pharmacy in Countryside Shopping Village, convenient opening hours including Sundays and holidays.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today, the Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program. We ask our listeners to avoid statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use any indecent language or make any statement which is false or misleading. Email talktoday@candw.ky or call 1-800-534-8255.
Courtesy of Flow, Cayman's #1 network that connects you to your world like never before.
Let your voice be heard. Once again, here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And I'm always honored, and certainly I see it as a privilege and a great pleasure, but I'm reminded of the excellent democracy that we have, that we can so easily access our elected representatives of Parliament and have almost, an everlasting discussion. So it's a pleasure to welcome to the studio the Honourable Minister of Agriculture, J. Ebanks. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, Sterling, for giving us the opportunity to be on the radio show, and I just want to say a warm thank you to the listening audience in the Grand Cayman, and just good afternoon to everybody out there.
And for those who, not only wears our hat proudly, but the representative for tranquil, beautiful, other Eastern District or North Side. So they say if you can't be a West Bay, the next best thing then is, want to be. That's good. No, man, it's a pleasure, sir. Thank you for.
We'll agree to disagree on that
one. The Ebanks clan, they say. And the wonderful Community Development Officer for East End, Ms. Delmira Boyden. Again, thank you, ma'am. Over the years, we've had some engaging and lively discussions with you relative to similar endeavors, but otherwise, so thanks for helping us to facilitate this afternoon's discussion.
Thank you for having me.
And as we mentioned, we're expecting, and hopefully, with all of his increasing demands on the schedule, the Honourable Member of Parliament for East End, Mr. Isaiah Rankin, will join us as well. With great deference, ma'am, to the Honourable Minister, I know we're both raised where we try to have, as our parents instruct us, a sense of respect and decency and discipline. So, despite where the world is nowadays, we still have that notion that some of us are gentlemen, or try to be. So, the ladies first. This is an endeavour. I don't believe the Honourable Minister would mind if I say we start with you first, ma'am.
Yes, living in the district of East End, I am no stranger to the district of Northside. The Honourable Member, Mr. J. Ebanks, has worked with me in the past, and coming together in the district of East End on a social level, we have interacted, and you can say the people in East End have the people in Northside at heart, and the same respect and camaraderie exists between the two districts. With that being said, I spoke with Sam Rankin, and I said, we should do an activity that brings the two districts together. And I asked him what kind of fish runs during the month of May or is running is the word I use because I'm
Running,
not
yeah.
really a fisherman, Jay, or a fisherwoman. So he said dolphin. So I called Mr. Gary Ratty and I said, Gary, let's do a fishing tournament called Jay, and everybody's like, yeah, let's do a dolphin derby. So it just takes a group of people to come together with a great idea to do what it takes to link people just by common interests and sports and activities and different events and different interests brings a group of people together. And we saw a need for that, whatever sport it is, if it's wave runner, if it's fishing, it's our maritime history, and it's so much different facets to your maritime history, and the focus that we have is fishing. Our fishing tournament is very important to our heritage. It's important to the people of the Cayman Islands. While we do it for fun or recreational, I mean, this is not entirely fun because we're going to win a lot of money. I think that bringing the people together in our community to understand that stress is something that you have to manage, and wellness is important. Your mental wellness is important. So if we can set aside our busy lives and come together as a group of people that we've done for many years, and say we're going to come together as a district, as a people, and let us have a fun event and come together to support one another and to be how Cayman used to be. Cayman is so busy sometimes you don't even see your neighbor.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and as I listen to that, Ms. Delmira, what is it? My brothers tell me, a bad day fishing is better than a good day working. Mr. Banks, being under the water, getting that sea salt taste, that splash.
I agree with you on that. Any day on the sea is always a good day, but boy, nowadays, the only thing I can do is just get in the boat on the trailer and sit in the backyard and look at it.
I mean, that's the first step,
Don't get much days to be on the water, but I'm actually be looking forward to this Dolphin Derby fishing tournament. As Ms. Delmira said, this is just somehow for us to bring the East and the North Side community back together. We're separate districts, but when it comes to talking about the eastern side of the island, we're all one as one, and we think it'll be a great family fun day for everybody to actually, just get out there and not take it too serious, but just go out there to have a good time, have a good catch of dolphins. I'm hoping that that someone will reel in some of the larger ones that they left behind from the last tournament, but some of them that got away.
They may have them tighter there.
This is something that we definitely have. It's the first. I wouldn't say it's not the first year that Easton have done it. Easton have done this several before, but I think this is probably the first time that Northside's actually got involved with it. And there's some great prizes that are in here, and I just think that we're going to have a wonderful day as bringing the community all back together under one, and be able to actually sit down at the way station and listen to some of the stories of which one got away. The fisherman stories are always the best part of it. So
what I hear, when fellas say, boy, that fish was so big it couldn't fit in the picture.
Yeah.
I think the first tournament that I came up with was the Stanford Rankin Memorial Fishing Tournament with Sam Rankin, and that tournament is going to continue, and the Dolphin Derby between Eastern and Northside.
Absolutely.
On any given day, you can find Northsiders in East End under Sam's boat shade, or they're going out together. They're coming in at the docks from fishing on any given day, and it was important for us to ensure that they were involved in a fishing tournament with us, and the representative for the District of Northside, Mr. J.E. Banks, was very welcoming of that idea. He provided suggestions, and he and his wife, Miss Felicia E. Banks, will be responsible to notify the District of Northside, which our registration is on May the 18th at the Blue Rock Restaurant and Lounge, which is, where Health City is. That's where Blue Rock is. It's a beautiful little quiet.
Sound tour.
And
our little piece of rock that we try to keep to ourselves.
Yeah, I won't pretend like it's unknown outside of your guys' district. I won't say that I know where it is.
So registration is going to be on the 18th, and the time is 7:30 until 9 p.m. You have to register on that date. There's a very important rule that persons must remember. You must be a local resident living in the District of Eastern and Northside or family members of local persons residing in both districts. You must register on the 18th, which I've mentioned already. Fish must be caught on May the 21st, Jay?
Exactly.
Not May the 20th. May the 21st, you have to catch the fish, okay?
From 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Yes. And you must be, if you're a minor, even if you're going on a boat with family members, you must have a permission slip signed. We have all of those areas covered. And every fish that you catch, regardless of where it's caught, you must report it by calling Miss Brandy, which is Brandy Sharif, on 939-2801 as you hook up. So we got rules in place that even though we're having fun, we're making sure that it's fair.
It is fair,
Yeah.
And lines in the water at 7 p.m. So don't go there from 5 a.m. ahead of us, right?
7 a.m. Yeah, all right.
So, and registration is $100 per boat. You have up to 4 anglers on a boat. And once you register, you will get a free T-shirt while they last. It's the key word here because it's limited. I don't want to be held accountable after this. So it's a limited amount of T-shirts that you get. And you also get your meal in an unlimited fruit punch. Unlimited lemonade and unlimited water at Eastern Star Bar on the beach. That's where the after party is going to be at.
All right.
So nobody pays $100 and get maybe up to 4 T-shirts. Free dinner at the after party, which is the awards ceremony. But I want to focus on the fact of our sponsors. This event could not have been possible without the Honourable Member from Northside, Mr. J.E. Banks, and the Honourable Member that I'm looking at from the District of East End, Mr. Isaac Rankin. Can you please come into the studio?
We're going to bring him in during the break.
Okay.
So maybe when we come back from the break, we talk about the sponsors. The Honourable Member from East End, as you referenced, has been here for a bit, but he's such a gentleman and so respectfully, so he's waiting for us to take the break.
And then he's going to come in.
All right, we'll do that. And stay tuned, man. The East End Northside Dolphin Derby. And I'm going to work my way during the break to see if I can become an honorary member of those districts to find my way into the tournament. But I'll see what I can do. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
You see how hard it's raining?
Yeah, and I don't have time to fight traffic and get my lunch from Subway. I have so much work to do.
Why don't you order Subway by using the Let's Eat or Bento app? Save time, stay dry, and get your sandwich fast.
I never thought of that. Great idea. I'm going to order now.
Order me a veggie pizza while you're at it.
And a cookie platter for the office.
Too busy at work or home? Is the rainy weather stopping you from dining out? Order your favorite Subway sandwich, wrap, or pizza through the Let's Eat or Bento app with fast and reliable delivery. Subway, eat fresh.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Throughout May, CUC and its subcontractors will be erecting new utility poles between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Shamrock Road between Watershed Circle and Wallbridge Drive in Lower Valley. Motorists should exercise caution due to temporary lane blockages. For more information, contact 949-5200 or email service@cuc.ky.
Did you know that ValueMed Pharmacy has a free online prescription service? Managing your health and medical requirements has never been easier with ValueMed. Simply visit value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com and click the Refill Prescriptions tab on our website. Fill in the information for new prescriptions or refills and choose your preferred pickup location. ValueMed on Walkers Road or Boddentown. Then bring in your original prescription from your doctor when picking up. There's no need to stand in line and wait for your prescription. Save time and pick up prescriptions at your convenience by visiting value-medpharmacy.com. That's VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. And thanks again for joining us in the studio. The honorable members from East End and North Side. And as the member for Northside, also responsible for Ministry of Agriculture. And for me, fishing comes on to agriculture in many respects. So, Mr. J.E. Banks, Mr. Isaac Rankin, again, sir, thank you very much. And it's a pleasure. I know Mr. Delmiro, the Community Development Officer, was sharing with us, but maybe a few words from you as you welcome you. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sterling, and thank my colleagues for inviting me here as well, and also good afternoon to the listening public. I'm sure they've already given all the exciting news in regards to the Dolphin Derby, and there's not much more can I, because I was listening as I was coming in, and it's going to be an exciting time, and we're going to have fun, so much fun that I'm thinking that maybe I should just go buy a boat now.
Tell you what, man, you go right ahead. I'll tell you which one to get. I know people will take care of it for you.
We wanted to save his money because the first prize is going to the North Side, so he don't make no sense in spin it now. But one thing we forgot about that we just want to make sure that they all know is that the zoning for this fishing tournament is in North Side. So you cannot cross the Rum Point Channel and you cannot cross the Frank Sound Channel, so you have the fishing on the north and the eastern side of the island. So
what you tell me then is basically all the big fish could be left there because they're all in West Bay.
Well, we want to make sure that we're leaving out certain people from being able to fishing, so we don't want them to think that we're going down the area to catch their fish too, right?
I mean, not like they swim, right? So
We're going to leave those fishes for another time, dude.
Yeah, no, man. And this is it. And I think Mr. Delmiro, as you were sharing, the sponsorship, but the community participation, what as Mr. Rankin indicated, we're coming together as a people. And even though we who may live on the fringes or, we want to be Easterners, Northsiders, well, we can vicariously enjoy this. You come to the registration, come to the prize given after, and be very active cheerleaders, God's willing. Maybe I'll be there.
Maybe look forward to seeing you there doing. I'll be on shore because you need people to direct all that.
Don't worry, he was invited to go out on the boat with us, and he's like, I think I'm going to manage on shore.
I'll keep you company.
But but as anything else that we do, we also have to be safe. Bring safety into it, and with that, we'd also spoken to our Coast Guard. Those fantastic gentlemen over there, and they passed on some safety tips that we'd like to share for all the boaters who's going to be participating. First and foremost is let someone know when you're going out and what time you plan to come back. General area you're going to be fishing in as well. Please have a VHF Marine radio on board if you can, and ensure that it's working. Most important, having it and not working is not going to help you. And you can call Port Security or the Coast Guard base for a radio check. They would like us to have life preservers for each person on board, and if you have signaling flares as well, or a signaling mirror. And if you don't have those, please ensure that you have a cell phone that is fully charged in a watertight package, like a Ziploc bag. And also remember, with the VHF radio on channel 16, and listen for any calls from it for assistance from other boaters as well while you're there. And they want to wish us a happy fishing tournament, and they will be monitoring the radio and providing assistance if we need it as well.
All right. And this is where that as Mr. Delmiro was sharing, the camaraderie that comes through fishing, from the stories that happened long ago to the new ones unfold. We do have a call to join us if it's okay. We have the two MPs for the Eastern Districts, Mr. J.E. Banks, Mr. Isaac Rankin, together with the Community Development Officer for East End, Mr. Delmiro Borden, as our guest. Hey, good afternoon and welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dwayne.
Hi, good afternoon. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Good afternoon to your guests, Honorable Jay and Honorable Isaac.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
This is your neighboring farm right in the district of West Bay. Calling about your fishing tournament. Is it this week? I didn't catch the exact date as to when the fishing tournament is.
Started the 21st of May.
So it's the 21st of May.
That's the actual.
And is there a time from time, when it starts and when it finishes, like how they do regular tournaments, like they start at 6 in the morning and finish at 4, or
It starts at 7, Mom, and lines are in the water at 7, lines out at 4 p.m.
At 4 p.m.
And the weigh station is 4 to 5 p.m.
Oh, okay.
And then after, you can come at when we're having the weigh-in at 4. We ask you to also spend some more time in the District of East End, because we go right over on the beach across from the Fish Fry, which is the Eastern Star Bar in the back on the beach. And Ms. Karine has prepared some delicious meals. It's going to be fried fish, lobster. There's a lot of other menu selections that's going to be available to the public. There's going to be a cash bar. And you can also support her business as far as buying dinner as a member of the public coming out to support this beautiful event that's bringing a lot of people together.
Yeah, so the weigh station will be at East End.
Yes, the weigh station will be at the East End Heritage Field, and that's going to be done between 4 p.m. until 5 p.m., the weighing-in.
Okay, sounds good. Congratulations, you guys. Tell Jay that I'm sure that Cameron and his boy will have a lot of competition up there. Because you know Cameron likes fishing and yours like fishing, so I'm sure we'll have a lot of competition. Maybe he needs to bring his Uncle Burger there to show him how to fish. Congratulations to you guys. Sounds like we need to do that more often in different areas too.
Yes. Thank you, Mom.
Thank you.
Thank you, too.
I think that as I listen to the caller, Mr. Elmer, public are recognizing the importance of what this does. Fishing is, as you shared immediately, part of our heritage, and salt water is in our veins, even for those that stay on land like me and Mr. Rankin.
I didn't say it wasn't in my veins to stay on land, but I can help myself.
Listen, we're smart. Somebody need to be there to make sure,
I keep saying to people, and you have the people who fish and the people who eat fish.
See? We got so much in common. we do have a call up. I'm reminding my brother saying, I don't want to go fishing, I want to go catching. So
yeah, that's true.
I wait for them. Respectful, I think the public is excited about this. Let's join this other caller. Hey, good afternoon. Welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon to you, Dwayne, and how are you today?
Very blessed and thankful. And you, Mom?
Not too bad. I'm grateful. I had a knee replacement, so now I got 3 knees.
Well,
Am I lucky or what?
You got the blessings, man. I pray for a speedy recovery, Mom.
Yes, I'm doing well, thank you. Good afternoon to Minister Rankin and Minister Ebanks.
Good afternoon, Ma'am.
Good afternoon, Ma'am.
Thank you. You're speaking about the fishing tournament and the fish fry afterwards, with including lobster and all that. I don't want to talk too much about it because then I start drooling. So,
can't let no fuss.
But I want to know if, let's say, if you have is it that you got to catch a certain amount, or if you have an abundance of fish?
Yeah. We repeat that information. I'll ask Mr. Muir to share with us again the details.
Okay. The first prize is combined weight, which is 15 pounds minimum, and it's combined weight, and the first prize is $2,000 plus a trophy. So it is combined weight in one category.
And that's for the fish, right? Not anglers.
The fish.
But there is a prize for the heaviest fish overall also.
Yeah, so the second prize is $1,500. The third prize is $1,000 under combined weight. And then the heaviest one fish is sponsored by Mr. Girarati himself. And also the T-shirts was sponsored by Mr. Fred McLaughlin. So we're bringing a lot of different people together in our community. And the first prize, the second prize, and the third prize has been sponsored by the Honourable Member, Mr. J.E. Banks from the District of Northside, and the Honourable Member from the District of East End, Mr. Isaac Rankin, as them endorsing and also participating and being a part of the committee to bring both communities together.
Okay, that sounds so nice. I hope we have good weather and we can get all. But one of the reasons why I'm asking these questions is because if you had an abundance of fish, would you would you donate it to a charity like, say, Meals on Wheels, or to the very poor? Because just going to look in the supermarkets, the price per pound for fish, you could nearly buy a boat. And I heard Minister Rankin say that it makes him feel like he wants to buy a boat. Well, you go ahead, and I'm sure me and Dwayne we'll take care of it for you.
There you go.
So to answer the caller's question, because everybody is registering and paying a registration fee of $100, it is left up to them after the weigh-in on what they would like to do with the fish. Remember, it's only dolphins that they can catch. If they catch any other fish, we have had on occasions where persons have actually given the fish to some seniors in our community or other people that came out to the event. Some persons sell theirs. So again, we can only mention it, the very valid point that you've made. I think it's very important because it's very costly to just purchase fish, to understand that, yes, we might want to focus on see what you can give to a senior in our community or someone that really, could use it. And, Eastern and North Side and Caymankind is all about that. And thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for that answer, because, sometimes you go to the store and you really want a piece of fish. I was brought up by the seashore, and we had fish just about every day, fish in Conkin,
yes, ma'am.
Lobster and the whole works. And like I said, I'm not talking about it anymore because it makes me hungry.
I think you're making the airport hungry.
But you might kind of pass that idea on to some of our representatives, because we're not hearing from them, and we need to hear from them. And sometimes, like a representative is on the radio, I am sorry, that is not good enough, because not everybody have a radio, and not everybody can afford a radio. I've got lots of elderly people down here in West Bay don't have a radio and don't have a television. So it would be so nice if you could pass that idea on and get it out there to the public by having town hall meetings or whatever. It's just an idea. It's just an idea, so everybody would know what's going on. I thank you for your time, all of you, and good afternoon.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, too.
And respectfully, let's just quick schedule break, and we come back. We can remind listeners of the tournament and how to register and who's eligible, and maybe, are there any honorary members? All right, stay tuned. We'll talk today.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Celebrate this Mother's Day with Cayman Crystal Caves, Sunday, 8th of May. Guided tours include complimentary beverage, carnation, and chocolate, strawberries for mom. Then enjoy a relaxing Mother's Day experience at their Treehouse Cafe. Space is limited. Call 949-2283 or email info@CaymanCrystalCaves.com to book your Mother's Day tour. Change it up this Mother's Day with Cayman Crystal Caves. Didn't you hear? Crystals are a mom's best friend.
The Spring Labor Force Survey is currently being conducted by the Economics and Statistics Office. The Labor Force Survey collects data on employed and unemployed persons. Trained interviewers with ESO ID cards will visit randomly selected households in all districts. The interviewers will exercise appropriate COVID-19 protocols using personal protective equipment. The interviews are confidential in accordance with the statistics law. No individual data will be published or disclosed. Survey data are exempt from freedom of information. For more details, please call the ESO on 516-3329.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome, Mike, and thanks for joining us in the studio. The MP for Northside and Agriculture Minister, Mr. J.E. Banks, MP for East End, Mr. Isaac Rankin, and Mr. Elmira Borden, the Community Development Officer. The East End Northside, they're presenting the Dolphin Derby Fishing Tournament on the 21st of May. Mr. Elmira, I'm so excited that the wider communities come together. Fishing, well, I would say, going fishing. Good afternoon, so continue to tell us more.
But before we get to that, I just want Minister Jay said about the heaviest fish going to Northside. I beg to differ, and some of my colleagues from East End beg to differ and says they've said to me we can just make the check out to them now.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know Sam Rankin is participating. We have Roger Watler, we have Sinclair, we have Watler, we have Dana Tatum. We have Nicholas Elliott, we have Fred McLaughlin, even Owen Rankin is participating. But I do have a boat myself. My boat captain is Mr. Gary Whitaker, so I won't be on shore while Jay and Honorable Member J. E. Banks and Isaac Rankin is going to be on shore. I am courageous. I am going to go out with Gary, and the press is going to come on our boat with us, so you'll get some clips here and there on what's happening throughout the day, even what's going on shore.
Because Sterling, it would be fair for me to go out there, right? And after we're the one that's putting up the prizes, then to turn around and win your own check back. That didn't make any sense. So I've since decided that I will be at the weigh station. I'll be the one that's controlling the weigh station, making sure that the clock, the scale is set perfect, and there's no cheating going on there. We got the right way of going, things happening, right?
And we also have a way of knowing if you caught the fish 2 days ago. There's going to be an expert, and that expert is Mr. Honorable Member, Mr. J.E. Banks, and Mr. Sam Rankin, and Ernie Sharif. All those guys are going to be looking. Brandy Sharif is the person that's going to be doing with hookups. But Cayman Distributors is partnershiping with this event through the Eastern Star Bar, and we want the public to come out from 4 p.m. And to stay to see the prize giving ceremony. The after party is going to be it's going to be renowned. It's going to be very beautiful. It's epic. So we want everybody to come out, talk with the MPs, talk with your friends in the community. The guys that go fishing, they have so much stories. I mean, we laugh. We have so much fun afterwards.
You know about those fishing stories?
No, sir. I won't say a thing.
No, Mary, we just want to run through the information, the contact numbers again for everybody. If there's anybody out there that just want to get hold, Delmira Borden, her number is 925-5543. My number is well known throughout the island already. It's 916-4249. Mr. Ernie Sharif has put his number up there for contact also, which is 916-7458. And also my wife, Feliciana Ebanks, has her number there. It's 926-5021. And Mr. Kindle Corner. So there's a variety of numbers out there that you can get hold of anybody. And Mr. Kindle Corner number is 925-8992.
And my number is 926-2784, and they want to reach out to me for any additional information. And just remember, the Fishing Ears is from the Frank Sound channel to the Rum Point channel on the eastern side, not going to the western side.
Everything has to be caught on the eastern side.
And the Eastern Heritage Field is the way station. That way station will be from 4 p.m. until 5 p.m. Lines have to be out of the water at 4 p.m. Lines in by 7 a.m. And we're going to be after the way station at the Eastern Star Bar having fun from 6 p.m. until.
Yes, and Cayman distributors have promised to provide a package for every captain that signs up for their boat. They're awarding them with, besides the t-shirt, besides the free food, besides dinner, besides having some drinks afterwards, non-alcoholic, lemonade unlimited, and water unlimited. There'll be other specials available at that time that we're ensuring that happen, but there's going to be a DJ Doctor that's going to be there. Music's going to be on the beach. Then they got a DJ Indian that's going to be inside of the Eastern Star Bar. So you don't even have to wait till 4 o'clock. Just come 4 o'clock in the afternoon for the weigh-in. Come out all day. The fish shop's going to be open. They have fritters. They have fish. They have roast fish. They have steamed fish, fried fish. They got lobster. Fried plantains.
They will have fish.
Fish.
We're talking about too much food. We're going to get after this.
I think I know where I'm going after this. If we could, I know the listening public is as excited as I am and very enthusiastic. We have one of the caller. Should we take?
Yes.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How are you doing?
Well. How are you?
Very good.
I'm fine. Listen to me, gentlemen. I hear you guys are the big enough, your north side and your east side. You don't think
this is definitely premiere.
You don't taking this. Never man.
Deputy Premier, you can come and join. You can come and join us, myself and Jay, at the way station.
Listen, when you're driving through Borden Town to get home, just drop off them. But my guys, them just drop off the prize up there. Save yourself the trouble.
Well, sir, we would like no honor but for you to be there as the finance minister. I'd love to have you around all the time. So you should definitely join us.
Yeah, I'm going to contract the numbers to make it right.
That's right.
Well, gentlemen, no, I think it's a great thing you guys doing. I mean, well done. And listen, we wish you success, and we're going to be doing whatever we can do to make sure it's a success. But this is what it is that we want: more events to bring our people together, embrace our culture and everything else. So, well done. And us two first timers who's been there now, I'm really proud of you guys and what you're doing, man. But Borden Town still going to take it.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the support.
Thanks.
Peace and love, bro.
All right.
And this is the joy. I hope that the public listening appreciate that this is not just about fishing or bragging rights. This is about camaraderie and community. And I truly commend you as leaders and the wider community for partnering. So it's going to be fun. I mean, I'm still working on my honorary membership. I'm completing the application now.
Yeah.
For Eastern, I'll grant you honorary membership from now until.
Thank you, sir. I received it.
I also want to thank Miss Angel Ruddy and Gara Ruddy. They accommodated the meetings at their residence, and Angel was responsible for ordering all the T-shirts and the trophy for the event, and the T-shirts have arrived. So we're very organized, and as you can see, we've gotten every form printed that is needed for the tournament, including safety has been a focus. And we got the unity of both of the districts, and I called Northside and spoke to Douglas.
Oh.
I hear he's a very good fisherman in Northside, Jay.
Only if you ask him, though.
Well, I wouldn't expect anything different from Mr. Douglas. He's a former hot lad as myself, right? He knows a lot of fishing.
And Ariel, It's Ariel Whitaker.
Well, I don't know if Ariel, because Ariel has a tendency to either want to fish with me or he want to fish with Sam. So that'll be a toss-up, I guess, because I'm in the way station. I guess assume we'll be with Sam this time.
Yeah, what happened, I had to tell you, with the last tournament we had, Ray McLaughlin and Denny Connor came to the tournament, but their boat broken down, or the engine broken down, or something had happened to their boat. So everybody's gone out fishing, and they came back about 10-something with another boat, and they won first prize in their category. It's about never giving up, although you have obstacles, and that was something that taught me a lesson in a way to just watch them and see the way that they continue to be determined that they were going fishing. So everybody out there that don't have a boat, like the honorable member from East End that's going to buy a boat to participate, we welcome, and we got a lot of good fishermen in East End, like what I say, Sam Rankin, and your dad.
My dad, yeah, he's the bit I know about fishing, and I know, but like a head coach.
Yeah.
You know a lot of stuff, but you don't actually do it.
Yeah.
Well, I learned all of that from him. But he is an avid fisherman. Up to a few mornings ago, I went out to walk the dog on the beach, and I saw this boat going by, still fairly hazy, and I heard this person, "Oi!" I looked, that was him going up, and he pointed, said he's going up and outside.
That's the way to do it, man. Keeps them young.
Yeah, he still does a lot of fishing when he can.
Yeah,
so there's Mr. Elvit, also is Connolly. We've had so many people called us already to say that they are going to be participating in the tournament. And I know Jay said he's taking the prize in Northside, but I think it's going to stay in East End. So let's see which district's going to be the champions of this tournament and have bragging rights till the next one.
All right, well, Northside guys, don't let me down. Sharpen the hooks up, don't let me down.
Well, let me just call out my guys now. Sam, Nicholas, all the East End guys. We got to show the minister that we'll take in the first and second, and we'll give him something.
Well, I thank you very much, Dad. This is not only very exciting, it's not just going to be rewarding, but it's going to be rejuvenating and bringing the community together. And as Ms. Delmira shared, you come for the early afternoon. Some of us need to be on shore just to make sure that people know where to park and how to find the fish and the like. And so that party and that community camaraderie that will continue after the prize giving. It will extend into the rest of the year. So I commend you for that one. Thanks, Mr. Delmira.
And thank you.
Well, just before we go, I'd spoken to the minister, and him and I plan to collaborate on many more stuff that we do for both the districts, East End and Northside. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. It'll be a lot more.
Well, we'll be honored to help you to not only promote and support it, but to draw alongside it anyway. And as I think the Deputy Premier referenced, hopefully other districts as well will start to appreciate that this brings us together, then have an inter-island competition of sorts. It's good, man. Maybe the next time will be a marble tournament.
I can play marbles too.
You can teach me? All right. But thank you both, man. I'm very, very, very honored to have you. And Mr. Delmiro, thanks again.
Thank you.
Before we go, I want to give credit where credit is due. The genesis of this was Ms. Delmiro, and I want to thank her publicly for bringing the idea and getting it to this far, getting it to fruition with us, and I enjoy working with her to make sure it happens.
All right, well, Mina has made it light work, and honored to partner with you after the event. If you want to come in and showcase the winners and make the check presentation, whatever you want to do, however we can help, over here. All right, we're going to pause and take a break and see what happens when good hearts, good minds come together. Well, just continue. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice. Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
In the wake of the U.S. raising interest rates, Cayman banks are following suit. Over the past 24 hours, a number of local banks announced that in step with the recent increase in the U.S., they too are adjusting the prime rate for lending, with the change going into effect almost immediately or within a few days. Most hard hit will be people with mortgages that have variable rates tied to the prime rate. In international headlines, stocks are slumping on Wall Street, erasing a rally from a day earlier, as markets assess the looming fallout from the Federal Reserve's stepped-up fight against inflation. On Wednesday, the Fed raised its benchmark interest rate by 0.5 percentage point as part of an effort to slow consumer borrowing and tamp down inflation, which is at a 4-decade high. The market rallied when Fed Chair Jerome Powell dismissed the possibility the Fed could resort to a more aggressive 0.75 points hike in the future. Now, traders are starting to fret more about the impact of the Fed's moves to dampen demand and slow the economy. A rare but aggressive kind of uterine cancer appears to be driving an increase in U.S. deaths from the disease, particularly among black women, researchers reported today. Over 8 years, deaths from the aggressive type rose by 2.7% per year, while deaths were stable for the less aggressive kind. Their study found black women had more than twice the rate of deaths from uterine cancer overall and of the more aggressive type when compared to other racial and ethnic groups. The aggressive kind, called type 2 endometrial cancer, is more difficult to treat. By the end of the study period, it accounted for about 20% of cases and 45% of deaths. Those are your headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom. I'm April Cummings.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky. Subway is serving up a special new sauce, bursting with flavor in every bite. The new Savory Collection is a tropical sweet and spicy sauce made with a combination of spices, habanero peppers, thyme, onion, black pepper, ginger, citrus juices, and molasses.
So good.
Wow.
Sensational. Delicious.
Subway's Savory Collection pairs perfectly with our oven roasted chicken or steak sub. Savor the flavor. For a limited time, only at Subway. Subway. Eat fresh.
Busy, busy, busy. Feel like there's not just enough hours in the day. Savannah Pharmacy, service to make your life easier. Now you can WhatsApp your prescription order to 929-5045. And pickup is just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours including Sundays and holidays. WhatsApp your prescription order to 929-5045. Savannah Pharmacy, wholesome values with modern conveniences.
Beyond Basics Medical Laser and Skincare is offering an incredible 30% off services in celebration of mamas. Visit beyondbasics.ky to shop online and save by using our promo code BBMAMA. Unwanted body hair and ingrowns? Experience laser hair removal from beyondbasics.ky. Scarring, fine lines, loose skin, and enlarged pores? Then experience microneedling, body slimming, and contouring from beyondbasics.ky. Dull, dry, and uneven skin tone? Experience the Hydrofacial and Peels from beyondbasics.ky. Give Mama the lifestyle of confidence and beauty transformations that will create significant change she will love forever. Shop with instant, easy pay online at beyondbasics.ky this Friday and Saturday only and enjoy 30% off services with the promo code BBMAMA.
The Health Services Authority's new pharmacy is now open at the Smith Road Medical Center. The new location features a large, comfortable waiting area and ticketing system to improve the patient experience. All uncollected prescriptions and refill requests previously submitted will now be available for collection at the Smith Road Pharmacy. Request your refills online at hsa.ky via WhatsApp 925-6532 or call 244-2715. For more information about our pharmacy hours, visit hsa.ky.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back. And as we get into the discussion, we want to remind you, as the Honorable Agriculture Minister and MP for Northside, together with the MP for East End and this Community Development Officer, of a wonderful, fishing tournament for the Eastern District. So we'll tell you about that. That's exciting. And I say that to remind us how so much unfolds in our communities because of the work of our wonderful members of the community. And as we turn our attention now to Cayman Islands National Dance Company and this presentation of Dimensions coming up at the Harkville Theatre. West Jessica Eden, the artistic director, together with one of the senior dance company members, Miss Gabrielle David. Dance is something that is almost transformative. If you don't know how to dance because you're not a formal dancer, you just sit as an audience member, the choreography, the storytelling, and I'll have you guide me, but just watching it, the interplay between the dancers, whether they're a handful of them or whether it's just a soloist, and you just watch the grace, the elegance, the poise, the stamina, the endurance, the strength, but then the presentation of the body in motion. Oh, man, it is telling. So, Miss Jessica, good afternoon to you, Mom.
Good afternoon.
I love dance. One day I'll be able to.
It sounds like that.
I had an opportunity to learn, but I guess salsa wasn't my step. But with that, I mean, tell us about this particular presentation. Let's start first off, Ms. Jessica.
Okay. Well, this year Dimension is going into our 34th year of being in existence. And this particular theme is a reflection of what has been happening since we've had, this whole new way of living with COVID. You don't become fully aware of what's happening until you have a platform to kind of release what's going on. And surprisingly, the dances that came out this year for our show is a reflection of how we felt about the loss of life, how we have felt about just our mental health, just the whole human aspect and coping with the changes that we are constantly faced with. And in the past 2 years, we have been faced with a lot. Yeah. And not just faced with it, but learning how to stay sane with all that's happening, how to find that platform in which we can say, this is how I feel. It's going to happen, but I can overcome it. And a lot of our dances this year kind of is a reflection of that. And surprisingly, we pulled from some dances that we have done many years ago and have included some new pieces to also reflect that. Because as an individual, we are stronger than we actually know we are. And that comes on a lot of the dances, showing our inner strength, our ability to just keep going, our ability to adjust to our new environment, our surroundings, and come out that better person.
We, as dance, for me, poetry in motion, we can go to a production, whether it's live or otherwise, and there's sound, whether it's talking or music, and we can probably get a story. It could be the soliloquy. It could be, just a one night comedy snack. But if I might, Ms. Gabrielle, dance. And I'm just thinking, here are the figures, if that's the way, they're on stage and they're doing this thing, and then they're moving, there's the grace, and we appreciate that. But I wonder, for the audience, how do they get the storytelling? How do they see the joy, the heart, the pain, the suffering? How do they see that this is speaking to, that particular maybe element that is so emotionally captured?
Thank you for having us. And dance is just something that allows persons to connect. You don't have to speak the same language. It comes across barriers. So no matter what might make you different from someone else, when you dance and you go on stage, and if there's music or if there's no music, if you're dancing to someone speaking, whatever the case may be, that message will transcend across and just allow persons to see themselves in whatever is being displayed or portrayed. And you might find the strangest things. Someone will come up to you and say, oh my gosh, I love that dance you did. It reminded me of when I was little, and I used to do this or I used to do that, and I can't do that anymore, but I felt like I could. And it's that ability to connect people regardless of,
And Jessica, when we look at it, the last 2 years, I try to cope with it through deflection and the use of humor, for instance. And I say, oh boy, last year was a long century. And it feels like that. We have been, even the self-described, introvert who loves to be by herself, finding it challenging. When am I going to be able to do this again? Or even the most extroverted individual coming out, for the first time, becoming somewhat conditioned and a bit reticent now that, do we embrace? Are we doing it this way now? What does it mean? Does it make sense anymore? Did it ever make sense? In your choreography with your dance, and as how do we interpret that? How do we, as we observe that, take that on board, internalize it, and make it something that we can draw reference on, as Ms. Gabrielle shared?
Well, you know, the thing with dance is movement, the freedom of expression without words, so to say. And sometimes just to relieve all that's in you, just to get that energy out, that's a blessing with any form of art form. And some of our dances, a lot of our dances link with music with instrumental beat, but we do have some pieces that link with poetry because the words in themselves are so powerful. And like for myself, I tend to be a loss at time with words, but I find it much easier to express it through movement. And that's what it does for us. It allows us to, again, just express that what's deep in us that we need to release to kind of keep us going and take that next step. So we could say, yes, I too can overcome this. I too can learn from these lessons. And that's what we find with a lot of what we do with movement, music, poetry, even silence. Just frozen a moment to just get our mental being balanced again.
And we're talking about it, but we should tell people when and where. I mean, share with us. It's this weekend, I gather.
Right, so our performances will be this weekend on Saturday, May 7th at 7 p.m. at the Hartwell Theatre and Sunday, May 8th at 5 p.m. And tickets are $30 for adults and $15 for children. Tickets are available from the Radiance Dance Studio at the theatre door or by calling 926-1826.
And I'm glad that you do this because I think the participation of the wider community in endeavors like this help us to not just take stock and be introspective, but as we reflect, we become appreciative of not only who we are, but as members of a community, our obligations. You know, the incumbents is on us to be a part of this. As a dancer, going from the stage in those days to where you are and making sure that the stage is there for the rest of us. How's that transition? What?
You know, is I think it's a developmental stage in life. I was once the student observing, watching, learning, listening, taking it as much as I can, to now sharing all that I have with the hopes that others have new idea too, that they can help to add and improve what we have to offer, what we can offer. So, you know, if you like constant change, I think it's a wonderful thing, because I have found over the years I'm not where I used to be. I am constantly learning, constantly moving to what can be, what figuring out ways on how to improve, challenging myself to be a better problem solver. And all those stuff are very fascinating and exciting because there's never a dull moment.
Indeed. Oh, Ms. Gabrielle, from the perspective of being a senior, a dance member, naturally we would expect the juniors to look to you for leadership, for guidance, for direction. And I wonder sometimes, as Ms. Jessica was sharing, is it that's evolving or revolving? Is it as you look at what this next piece should be like, but even the production as a dancer?
You know, we really are a dance family, and that goes a long way, because you look at each of the dance members as, you know, your little sister, your big sister, your cousin, and you have that rapport with everyone. And so, you know, sometimes they'll come to you, can you clarify this movement? What should it be? Or even when we're practicing and we're giving each other feedback, saying how you can improve on this, or, you know, you did that really well, bring more of that. And, you know, just that space, it is a safe space where we can encourage each other and strengthen each other and uplift each other and just pull the best of ourselves out. And, you know, just the dynamic of having that influence on younger persons, that is something that is very, very special, and I think very important to foster a different type of, you know, person, so that when they when they get to that position where they can then turn around and be that influence for someone else, I think that's so important that we start that here in this space where there is that freedom and that joy and comfort.
As I listen to you, dance is universal. It doesn't matter. But for some of us, we are reluctant to go to a dance production. We don't want to go to the theater to hear a play. We don't want to do certain things because is it, Miss Jessica, or sort of unfortunate perceptions that we have? Is that a sense of self-censorship that we impose, so we deny ourselves what could not only be added joy but a learning opportunity? How do we get more of us to come out on the weekend and say, you know what, whatever your perceptions and misconceptions may be, here's an evening that could be transformative for your mindset?
Well, I have to say, thanks to social media, we're able to share a little clipping of what a dance performance is and can be about. And allow people to realize there's something there for everyone. There may be pieces you don't quite enjoy or might strongly disagree about, but that's what it's all about. Yeah. It's about you expressing what you're experiencing. And
I guess it's not just artistic license, and this is just me as a person, observing it, taking it in, and I love the arts. I understand the incredible work that it goes in, not just choreographing, but hey, we need to be physically and mentally and spiritually grounded to give the audience a wonderful evening, but also to represent us. From your perspective, Ms. Gabrielle?
I agree. We definitely have to, prepare ourselves, not just physically, but mentally as well. And again, it comes back to that kind of community that we have. So, everybody has their days when they're not 100%, but, being that support and just encouraging each other, it really goes a long way to, helping us to present our best selves, on stage. And sometimes, dance allows you to step outside of yourself to present a bigger message and to just allow persons to connect, not necessarily with you, the individual, but just the bigger picture and understanding the message behind the dance.
And thank you for that message. And for the individuals, two people go out, an older person and a younger person, their siblings, whatever partnership, they see the artistic expression, and they may come away with different interpretations or feelings or the impact.
Yes.
And that to me what leads to wonderful dialogue.
Yes.
Tickets you were sharing, $30 for
$30 for adults, $15 for children under 15.
Okay.
And you could get them either at the door or stopping by Radiance Dance Studio or call in 926-1826, or you could even send a WhatsApp message to 926-1826 and reserve your tickets. It'll be at the door. It's going to be an amazing night for the family.
And I thank you for sharing that, because sometimes even productions like this, like plays, like other things, we're not sure who's the audience, but this is an evening that through dance will express some of the things as you shared, we've gone through globally and locally. But this is a family evening. I mean, you can come out and who knows the teaching moments as that we will learn that make evolve.
Yes.
Okay. What are two things, and for my benefit, because I think initially it was instructive when I was, sort of being encouraged, hey, go out, step out of your comfort zone. You just need to go watch a football match every day, do something else. And we would get concerned, I don't have anything to wear, Well, just come with clothes on, that's the first step. It's not a 3-piece suit, it's not a black tie event. Just come with a comfortable pair of slacks if you're a man, and a nice, clean, a properly ironed shirt.
Yes, come present yourself as comfortable as you would like. If you want to go all out and how the glitters, fine, come on out. That what the arts is all about. If you feel that that night is a night that you just need to wear that comfy outfit, that's fine. Come on out.
And I thank you, Shana. I try to joke, but sometimes, like going to church, I don't really have anything to wear. Oh, I wore this last week. No, that was last year, the year before that. We find excuses. And I'm mindful that the last time you were on and you were talking about it, I had some people who went and they were amazed, not just at the talent, but the storytelling through dance and how it resonated with them. And you don't have to have any particular sort of, experience or expertise. You just have to have a receptive mind to enjoy what is, before you, right? For the dancers, Ms. Gabrielle, you prepare them. The choreographer has put together the pieces, you're rehearsing, and you're rehearsing, and you're rehearsing.
Yes, rehearsal tends to get a bit more intense as we approach showtime. But, we don't mind because we want to really and truly present something that is, wonderful, not just in terms of the movement presented, but ensuring that we project, enough that the message in the dance that people see beyond the moves. They see that, they're able to connect. And so rehearsals can be intense, but, so necessary for us to, grow and develop.
But one thing about rehearsals, especially closer to the show, because I know I have asked a lot of the dancers and have actually asked of their personal time for extra rehearsals, and they come out, no complaining, and they keep pushing themselves. So just to see that commitment, dedication, that's something that the audience don't get to see, but in our space of practice, and as instructors and the choreographers, just seeing that is very heart-filling.
Yeah. And I recognize the time. I'm so glad that you shared, and I'm hopeful as people, especially now, what the world has been experiencing. Every day seems to be a new tragedy, a new war, threat of war, or something unfolding in our personal lives that we go, when is this going to... Here's an evening to let you hear that, to truly embrace what is beautiful in our community. From the choreographer perspective, if I may say, you have a peace of mind. You know what you want the audience to see, that to share, with your dancers. How do you know when, they got it? This is the story I wanted to convey.
Sometime as a choreographer, we don't get to see that till the night of performance. Like, we got to keep giving them pointers. Okay, do a little more of this. I'm thinking of... So you got to express what you're feeling inside, too, for them to unfold it. So we constantly creating pictures with the hope that they can see exactly what we're seeing, and through the movement, they connect everything so that the audience in turn also feel it. So the energy that is portrayed out. So it's no longer just dancing for yourself in your little small space, but it's dancing for persons who might be 100 feet away from you, so that they too can also say, oh my, yes, I understand. I feel your pain, or I feel your enjoyment. I too want to be there. Or at the end of the day, they leave and it's like, why do I feel like I was dancing too?
Yeah. That's it. I mean, sometimes, I guess as a sinner, I should go to church more often, but you would hear, David danced before the Lord. And you realize that expressiveness, whether it is to say thanks, whether it's to ask forgiveness, whether it's to convey something. There's freedom in movement. But there's also, as Ms. Gabrielle said, there's a message in the movement. This, I know, is always possible because of the commitment of your dancers and everyone. What else you want to share with us? Just in terms of how this whole event unfolds, the support you have. And I even like the name Dimensions. I mean, that speaks significantly to maybe where we are.
We started off, so as soon as the season finished, my head is already filled with ideas for the next season. We actually started with a different name, but as the dances started coming together, I was like, that don't work no more. So this is the team that kind of speaks to what the dances are all about. And I have to say that we really have to thank the persons behind the scene, because we have a really strong team of stage managers, volunteers who believe in us and who's there for us. And if we call on them, they're constantly there. I have to give a big shout out to Miss Harriet Russell. She, I could call her at the blink of an eye, and she's like, okay, sure, and it gets done. Or I'll be like, oh, we really need sponsorship for this particular area, and she sorts it out. There's no ifs, no buts. There's no barriers that she can't overcome for us. And in saying that, I would like to definitely start to thank our sponsors. Vice Closet has constantly been there with us in providing us with some lovely costume. ARC directors, their funding has helped us to be able to cover our expenses. Audiophile this year too have jumped into it. Swanky International has provided us with some lovely costume for one of our soca pieces, which I believe everybody will connect with. So just the fact that we have people who believe in us and what we're about, and say, okay, yeah, what you need, we got you covered. Makes a world of a difference and makes what we do as choreographers and instructors possible. So we don't have stress too much in that element.
Many hands make light work. And I thank you very much for taking time and accepting the opportunity to share with the public. And for those listening, to appreciate that there is always something happening in their communities. And for some of us, there's so much going on the same time that we don't quite sure. But I'm hopeful that we'll come on either Saturday evening or even both, Saturday at 7 and Sunday at 5 at the Hartwheel, because no two evenings are ever the same, and the audience plays a role too.
And you can watch a show 2 different nights and see completely different stuff. Like when you're watching a movie, the first time you watch it and there's a part you enjoy, and the second time, like, I didn't see that. And the same thing with a dance performance. And, and considering that it's Mother's Day on Sunday, it's going to be a lovely gift for your moms and grandmas and aunts and all those special women in our lives.
Indeed. Yeah. Well, thank you much. Any other thoughts you may want to share, Ms. Gabrielle?
Just to remind everyone to join our promotion. We have a promotion on our Instagram page, and you can enter to win 2 tickets by sharing our posts, tagging our sponsors, and one friend that you would like to take to the show. And so you can follow us on Instagram at CI National Dance Co. or on Facebook at CINDCO.
Thank you both, and always a pleasure to listen to you, to share with you, and hopefully through this to invite the public to another great evening for our community. So thanks so much, Ms. Jessica.
And thank you for having us on.
Yes, thank you indeed.
My pleasure. We're going to pause now and take a short break, and we will ask you to rejoin us right after. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. For all occasions and celebrations, let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab. Blood test, x-ray, and mammogram, all of that is MedLab. Affordable fees and friendly service, a full professional team. MedLab is always comfortable, MedLab is always clean. For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Call 949-7331 and ask about MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
As the longest established pensions plan in the Cayman Islands, the Chamber Pension Plan looks forward to delivering the same strong performance for our members, but now in a new location. As of March 1st, our new pensions operation office is located at 14 Saturn Close, Eastern Avenue, the same building as our new administrator's agent, Saxon Administration Limited. A dedicated and experienced team will be assigned to the Chamber Pension Plan. If you would like to join or request further information, visit chamberpension.ky, and for information as it happens. Follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. New location, new administrator's agent, new customer service, same strong performance.
Get ready for the Cayman National Dance Company's Dimensions, May 7th at the Harkwell Theatre. Dimensions is our journey beneath the surface of the pandemic, local events, and the moments in between our birth to our death. Tickets are $30 for adults and $15 for children, and they're available at Radiance Dance Studio, or simply call 926-1826. Dimensions is sponsored by Audiophile, ARC Directors, and Vi's Closet.
The annual business surveys are ongoing. The surveys are conducted by the Economics and Statistics Office and seek to measure the economic performance of all local industries. The survey forms for this year were mailed or emailed to all relevant entities operating in the Cayman Islands. The surveys are confidential under the Statistics Act and are exempt from the Freedom of Information Act. Your response matters. Do your part. Fill out and return your survey forms to the Economics and Statistics Office. For assistance in filling up the forms or for more information, visit www.eso.ky or call 244-4676 or 244-4607. Better data, better decisions, better business.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back, and thank you for joining us. We'll have open line. We had on our calendar a scheduled guest, and if and when that, happens, it'll happen, but the show goes on. And when you have Miss Susan cracking the Tarrant switch, you got to do two things, be willing to go along or be willing to take the consequences for going against the green. She's a great lady. Maybe I'll get her to join in and weigh in on the two things we just had a discussion. This is a very, very wonderful place. There are many great places in the world, and I think as people, if we appreciate and that we're more alike than we are different, and if we can celebrate our differences to encourage each other to see, that we are in fact more alike, then we can have a better place, whether we're living in the beautiful Cayman Islands or whether we're traveling in the region or across, many borders. Let's do it with a sense of respect and appreciation. Think, back to the first discussion that we had about the Dolphin Derby at East End and the Northside communities and Eastern districts coming together. We have the two elected members for East End and Northside, Mr. Rankin and Mr. Ebanks, in partnership. This builds a strong community. We see what fishing, and if you don't mind me saying, just like we say mangas and fishing, it's that vernacular that helps us through our colloquial expressions, through the parlance and the respect, for our dialect, and even it's important that we share and draw alongside, and then take to what's the National Dance Company is going to be doing on Saturday and Sunday. Dance can help us to see and appreciate things in a way that maybe we weren't quite able to verbalize. Last evening, as another example, those of us that breathed, the onslaught of the, as I call them, the mosquitoes. Some of you use a different term. At the public beach, in partnership with the Astronomical Society, we could gaze into the heavens. What I found, and I'm glad that I was not only able but willing, and I will share, very, very expectantly, to have been able to perhaps see and interact with others. Sometimes you don't realize how much you get out of something until you go there. And the fine gentleman and company just having a chat, not just about what they know about the celestial objects overhead, not just about the use of technology to view, but the little things that they've been able to garner through such associations. This is where we need to reach out and extend our hands to help, to uplift, to empower, to nurture, to encourage, and to ensure that we have a very resilient people and resourceful society. Well, what's on your mind? Let's have some open line and have you share your thoughts with us. 949-8037, 1-800-534-8255. I'll ask a question, and as Ms. Susan is here, if she chooses to want to answer and weigh in, to encourage your discussion. We look at artistic expression. She hopefully won't mind me singing her praises when it comes to her poetry. Her Aunt Clara, presentations and the like. And when you see that we have that remarkable talent within our country, I was going to ask her, the dance this weekend, it is something that I think for many of us, we would almost immediately gravitate and say, yes, I'm going to get my ticket, going to go there. And then some of us going to be a little bit reserved and not quite sure that we want to go, because I never did that before. But for me, if you've never been in that very first time that as you go and you watch a dance, it could be the Sunday school children with their ribbons and the like doing something for Mother's Day or for some other event. It could be a particular, in school we used to have the drama class, try and do a presentation for just that class. Or it could be, the dance company putting on a national presentation at the theatre, and you go out and you watch the different ages, you watch the more experienced sort of to the novice, and you come away with much. Well, let's go to the phones. Hey, good afternoon, welcome, thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Sterling, how are you?
Very well, how are you?
Pretty good.
Oh, it was good to hear from you. You sound like the weather might be kind of raining your parade a bit.
Oh, I'm good. I'm alive, thank God. I'm good.
All right.
Just wanted to finish off my conversation yesterday.
Yes, thank you for that too.
Yeah, no problem. Yes, I was saying that, where did we lose our beaches here in this island for us, that we have so few left of Caymanians, that we call ourselves Caymanians. To say we're not Caymanians, but I was born and raised here, so I don't know whether the country I can call myself. But anyhow, I just feel, Sterling, that that 7 mile stretch, I don't know who has to do it, but I think there should be a town hall meeting for everyone that managing those condos and hotels that own them, to come out and the government have a meeting, letting them know that, they did not purchase the water, they purchased a piece of property, and I'm quite sure that their property has a mark where what size their property is, and they are allowed to use the beach, but they cannot defeat us from going to the beach, because then we are in the water in the front of the condo. They did not buy that beachfront that goes all the way down to the water, I don't think. And I don't think they purchased the water when they bought their condos. And Sterling, many years ago, the people who was down there, and I was saying the first going off, they didn't mind anyone coming down and use the beach. It just is getting worse and worse as the years go by, because we're getting other investors, and they're coming there making their rules and regulations. But they need to show us on their piece of land paper that they own the beach, and they own X amount of that sand property coming down to the beach, to the water.
Right. But as I listen to you, I'm looking at a message that's coming through, speaking to the same topic, and the person is asking, a couple of questions. One, do we know what the law is? Two, what if the people who are involved in the sale of the real estate themselves are either misleading prospective purchasers, whether just to make the sale, or whether they themselves are ill-informed, or whether they believe this is how it should be because this is how they believe it should be. I'm paraphrasing that part. Is that the challenge, as you're saying, that maybe we don't have the legislation that we think we have, or maybe we do but it's not being enforced, or there's
something, Sterling, and it's not right. and all these little beach access that they got for us, that is below us. You have to walk through a track that once you get to that little track, sometimes it's even half block as you walking down in those little tracks. And I think we deserve more than that, living here all our lives and always knew that this was our beach for us to use, and we should not have to be restricted in any category or any form, because it's not fair to us, Sterling, and it's not fair. And I feel that they should go back and do some tracking back and find out exactly where their landmark is for that beach, and take it from there, because then they're going on like they own it in Sterling. Like I say right now, some of these people we got coming to this island, they didn't know what salt water was until they came to the Cayman Islands. Right. They didn't know what a beautiful beach was until they came to the Cayman Islands. No disrespect to none of them. But they just can't come here and say that they own it.
Yeah. I think, some years ago, not that long ago, whether through the Department of Tourism, there were some meetings with the properties on the Semi Beach in particular, to remind them of what is beach access and the legal use of the beach and the like. Maybe it's just some people taking license. Maybe some people have their own informed perspective. Maybe it's just sheer ignorance. We just need to be more educated of it and resourceful and respectful.
I think we need to be more educated, because in Sterling, I don't think this can happen anywhere else but in the Cayman Islands, and we need to put some stop to it. We want everybody to come here and enjoy the beach. And we that live here, we should not be confined, and we should not be restricted to go and use our beach and have to use a truck to get down to the beach. You can't carry a chair, you can't carry a cooler. I mean, and these spikes that they got on the side of the roads down in the front of these condos, that's a piece of the public road, and they have no right to put those spikes down on those in front of the condos, saying that we can't park up there.
Right.
Isn't that part of the government road? Because when you buy a piece of property, you're supposed to give so many feet of your property to help make a road.
Well, so you're right. I mean,
when you get off at now taking this liberty and putting on these little spikes, I call them spikes. I don't know what the right name is.
No, but I think you're seeing there serve as barriers, for people to safe to pull off on the side of the road, not even to park. But again, with those things being very visible, are they legally placed? And if so, is that something that needs to perhaps be reconsidered? But another thought.
You know what I can't understand, Sterling? We got every department you can think of on this island, and they drive through this island and with a closed eye. They refuse to see things, to make notes, and take it back to the drawing board, or whoever has to go and say, and who has to go to and say, this can't work. What are we doing to our people? What are we doing to the Cayman Islands? Why are we making money control our just so small country and forgetting our own people? And Sterling, I'm trying to do a little farming, right? And my yard is being destroyed by chickens, dogs, cats, you name it. So where Pepper Lee is, the rooster's picking up, and I guess, I don't know if he's eating or what after he eats it. I don't know what he's doing, but, it's getting discouraged. I'm getting discouraged with my little bit of farming.
Wow.
And I got in contact with some organization that deal with animals and so forth. She can tell me in my email. They will come out and neuter the cat, but they will bring them back. Excuse me? They're not mine. The animals are not mine. They belong to somebody else in the neighborhood. They need to go and find out who these things, but these animals belong to, and tell them, hey, if you can't keep these in a proper environment and not to be a nuisance to nobody else, then you have to take them down or whatever the case may be. You don't go and get animals and make them be a nuisance to nobody. I have nothing in my yard as a nuisance to nobody. Not even a tree hanging over somebody's property I don't believe in.
Right. Again, being respectful of each other, that goes a long way. Thank you, Mom, for sharing with us. All right.
You're welcome. You have a great one.
You too. And respectfully, let's just pause and take this break. And when we come back, we'll take other calls.
a caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
On a daily basis, making it easy to connect with you, our listeners. Add us to WhatsApp today, 925-3261. That's 925-3261.
Radio Cayman.
Send a text or voice note.
Can I send a request, please?
You don't really have to ask us. Just send a request.
This is a shout out to my ex.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman, maintaining the innovation.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back, and thank you for joining us. 8949-8037 or toll free at 1-800-534-TALK. Let's go to the phones. Welcome. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I am well, and especially when I got people fighting so hard on my behalf, I am elated.
Nice.
I thank the previous caller. Seeing a problem, knowing it's a problem, picking it up, putting it across your back and walking with it, baby. Thank you, because, we got to be our own battalion here in the Cayman Islands, and, we just need to get used to it and not even make it faze us and just do the hard work. But I thank her very much.
Mm-hmm.
I was really calling to say to, your dance company that was in there a while ago, that I thought that, maybe they could give a couple free tickets to the public schools. The government public schools.
Mm-hmm.
A ticket or two, which would in turn, I don't think they would lose much, because if the family wasn't going anyway, somebody has by necessity to accompany the minor, and you would make your money right back like that. But it would, kind of open things up for somebody who's already interested, or who mightn't be interested at all, but might take advantage of, there's a little freeness going on, because, God knows it, not much free nowadays.
Yeah.
And, kind of open it up like that to, some young person who might go there and just catch a bug.
That's it. And this is where, too, I think, we need to be, as you shared, mindful that things are costly, not just, in the arts or in food, not just the wants, but the needs. And maybe sponsorship at times could be hard, where, as you take a suggestion, where perhaps an entity sponsors a certain number of tickets to be distributed to schools, or to somehow help to encourage some of us.
No, we're not talking about no entity. It's enough Caymanians alive. Might only be 25 and a half of us. But of that 25, we got one or two big money makers, and now we're talking to them, people who we put in them fine seats called, but they call themselves parliamentarians now. Mm-hmm. Sometimes on the should scratching on a pocket without people coming to beg. You hear something going on. It's a good cause. Give somebody a little
holler at and you know, do your thing. Maybe this is a good. I just love that they're here trying to do something, but you know they can't do it if the pocket is empty. So you know, we got enough Caymanians here who make good money, and again, our people that would do everything for us a couple of years ago, if we would just give them the opportunity, and we did. So you know, how about giving people an opportunity now to do something that they need to do, or might be a blessing to them in the future.
Right.
I don't know. That's just how I think.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you referenced that too, because it slipped me. So thanks for the reminder. They did drop some tickets for us to give away here on Radio Cayman.
Yep. Thank you very much.
No, thank you too. And I probably should have referenced that during the discussion, but thank you for drawing it to attention. So but your point is taken.
Okay, bye bye.
Let's go to the phones, and do we take another call, Miss Susan? Hey, good afternoon. Welcome. Thanks for calling. Okay, well, the caller wishes to reconnect. Well, please dial us. For the other caller who wishes to call and share the thought, well, the invitation is there as well. 949-837, 1-800-534-8255. And while you're listening to Radio Cayman, we do have tickets. And again, my apologies. I knew that tickets were delivered to us to give away on air. We will do that, and that's where Radio Cayman has always been an instrumental part of the community spirit. So during much of our programming, just might be that winning ticket and your opportunity to go come Friday, Saturday or Sunday, Saturday at 7 p.m., Sunday at 5 p.m. at Harkwell for Dimensions. But what else is on your mind? It is a real question that a lot is happening, and when we were chatting with a few individuals, they were mindful of a few things that we had started to talk to. Not just the idea that, well, the government has renewed the regulations relative to the COVID protocols and the like, and they'll be revisited sometime in June. But we see some great things happening. A proposal to reintroduce the air show. Many of us like planes, they fascinate us. To the callers who were asking, well, given that we're seeing, not just now, but historically, not only the act of people buying and selling illegal lottery numbers, but physical violence sometimes may occur nearby or as a result, depending on who you speak to. So should the idea of gambling be something that we visited and licensed and regulated? 949-837, 1-800-534-TALK, 1-800-534-8255, or you can WhatsApp 925-3261. And then not just the idea of gambling, and to what extent. If we were to consider it, what would that look like? Would that be a form of a lottery system? Would it be casinos or something similar? And if so, to what extent? Is the public, as much as the discussion has been batted about now and again over the decade or more, is that something that needs to be revisited? And then what about legalizing cannabis from medicinal use to recreational to growing, perhaps to extending the propagation so that we're able to consider the supply to ensure that the quality control is there, is utilization for agriculture, for construction, for food, and other measures. Are those things feasible? Well, as a fellow referenced earlier, he said, nothing ventured, nothing gained. If you don't ask a question, how do you expect to receive an answer? And if you're not seeking the truth and clarity, then perhaps if you don't ask, you won't get it either. So what's on your mind? 949-837, 1-800-534-8255. We'll continue to open line after the news break and invite all our callers to share their thoughts. But I'm very, very much enthusiastic about the collaborative approach in the Eastern Districts with the upcoming Dolphin Derby fishing tournament on the 21st of May, and very specific in identifying their fishing area, being from the Frank Sound Channel to the Round Point Channel. And if you think to the people who are in that area, maybe their preferred area, maybe sort of their little fishing hole, as it were. And as the caller asks, well, there is a timeline when you put the water lines in and you take them out. So from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Now, if you want more information, the registration is going to take place on the 18th at 7:30 at the Blue Rock Restaurant and Lounge. That's very much near Health City. All right, we're going to pause. We'll take a break. When we come back, we invite your calls as you share your thoughts with us. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Satisfaction is guaranteed 24 hours a day, whether it's music or information.
From Grand Cayman to Cayman Brac to Little Cayman, we've got you covered.
You ever hear a thing like that?
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, I'm April Cummings. The COVID situational report for Epi Week 7 covers the period from the 24th through the 30th of April. Public Health reports the increase in COVID cases continues for the 6th week in a row, with a daily average of 86 new PCR positive cases compared to 66 in the previous week. The positivity rate is slightly lower at 32% this week compared to 33% in the previous week. Health officials say when this is considered with the fact that a higher number of tests were performed, it would suggest a genuine but modest decline in infection. In international news, Hong Kong reopened beaches and pools and relaxed other pandemic restrictions today after China's capital, Beijing, announced yesterday it would ease its tough quarantine rules for arrivals from overseas. The two Chinese cities are at opposite ends of the COVID-19 outbreaks. Hong Kong is emerging from by far its deadliest wave, which killed 9,000 people. In Beijing, a new wave is just beginning, and authorities have imposed a series of restrictions on residents to try to snuff it out. The easing of quarantine requirements was a reminder that China does eventually want to back off from its strict zero-COVID approach that is imposing growing economic and human costs, though officials have shown no inclination to do so in a meaningful way anytime soon. In the U.S., some small businesses are struggling to hire qualified workers, even as Americans return to the U.S. job market in droves. Hiring and retaining employees remains the top challenge for small businesses, according to a survey of 1,100 businesses by Goldman Sachs. 90% of businesses that are hiring are finding it difficult to recruit qualified candidates for open positions. Those are your headlines. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, I'm April Cummings.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome back, and thanks for joining us. It is open line 949-8037, 949-8037. Or you can dial us toll free with the compliments of Flo, 1-800-534-8255. Hey, good afternoon, welcome, thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Dwayne, Miss Susan, and to all our listeners.
And to you, Mr. Raymond, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon. I would like to pass my deepest sympathy and condolences to all family and friends of our great man. We lost another great man from the island, Mr. Jody Barton, which runs the Braca Marine Supplies for all the fishing gear for the fishermen, and he used to be a big provider of fish as well, and being a seaman, and I'm very saddened to know that he has gone.
Yes, sir.
And I am honoring him right now. A ship is approaching the bluff Cayman Brac to pass by 5 miles. The ship is an Arab roll-on, roll-off ship, which is among one of the few in the world like it. It has cargo enclosement for most of its cars and containers, and it's carrying some cars on board worth $250,000 for one car. It is carrying Audis, Lamborghinis, Bentleys, Mercedes, etc. So this is the ship I have honoring Mr. Jody Barton. Anyone who is hearing me, if they go to the lighthouse now on Cayman Brac or go to Spot Bay, she should be in sight. Yes, in sight from the lighthouse now on the end of the block. It's coming 5 miles off. It's doing around 15 miles an hour. It's coming from Italy, England, where they loaded most of their expensive cars, and then it went to India, and it came to Africa, and then it came to Brazil, coming from Brazil, going to United States, going to Florida, Pensacola, Florida. That the ship will be passing by. So anyone wanting to go to see this ship to honor Mr. Jody Barton, it's in sight at the lighthouse now and coming by off the north side, off of Spot Bay, about 5 miles off. It really takes it out of me to arrange for these things. Being such a great friend, it's really hard on me. But I'm paying respects like I did for the many other hundreds of seamen and their wives and the Queen's birthday and all these things that I reach out and doing like nowhere else in the world this is carried out. Only done by Raymond Scott in Cayman Brac. And for many people from Grand Cayman, seamen who pass away, I do it for your people as well, not only for people from the Brac, from all over the world. So that's what I have arranged for this ship. And the name is Bahri Yanbu. It's named after the big Saudi port, Yanbu, in Saudi Arabia. And the port of registry is Dammam. It's around 730 feet by 105 feet. And it's also carrying some large generators in boxes, massive boxes of power generation systems, like what Cayman Brac would have, or Grand Cayman. Those type of generators are encased. They're coming from Italy and from India, headed to United States. We've got cars, trucks, bulldozers, excavators, all kinds of things on board of it. The stern opens up and you drive on and drive off. But it's mostly enclosed, so the cargo is protected like a car carrier.
You know, but as you're sharing that information, Mr. Raymond, we're seeing whether the vessels that are traversing the high seas are relatively close to shore, that you can see your islands, or whether they're just taking the traditional routes. A lot of cargo is still heavily, sea-going. How do you see that transpiring down the road? Do you think it's going to continue, or do you think you will see more by air, for instance?
It will continue, and it's going by leaps and bounds by shipping traffic. Every day the massive container ships are being built, tankers, everything in the world. There is about an average of 1,000 ships to be built every year now until through 2030. Every year, 1,000 new ships will be coming into service to keep up with the world's demand. So things are just getting busier around the Cayman Islands. Yesterday we had the second largest tanker in the world went by Grand Cayman, Olympic Luck, owned by Onassis. And this morning we had two of the 6 largest tankers in the world pass between Grand Cayman and Little Cayman. So yesterday the second biggest, today the 2/6 biggest, and the third biggest is right off Aruba now, coming west to take that route south of 12 Mile Bank again in 2 days' time, and they're just coming and coming. That's the American popularity of the American crude oil that is being sold to India, China, Korea, Japan, that these monster tankers has to come and load and take back to those large countries.
No, as those ships come online, as an example, we're seeing attempts relative to transportation, attempts to reduce the carbon footprint and the emissions. These new ships that are coming online, are they being powered in traditional methods, or are you seeing any new technologies being used to power them?
a lot of new technology. Many of the large container ships to carry 15 and 23,000 containers are now powered by LNG, dual-powered LNG engines, burning liquefied natural gas, which we call methane gas, like what the garbage dumps and things would be producing. So that is a very high importance now, and also ammonia. Tankers are being built to run on ammonia. For the first time, is a few of them out, and methanol. In fact, there's about 6 of them registered in Georgetown, Grand Cayman, that are methanol-powered tankers. That is powering the ships. Methanol is woodstock, offstock from crude oil.
Mm-hmm.
And Trinidad produces a lot of methanol sold to the United States. And by the way, tomorrow, south of Grand Cayman, tanker loaded with coconut oil coming from Malaysia going to New Orleans and Savannah, Georgia. She's passing by. And remember I told you about the tanker that was in Grand Cayman discharging for rubies?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure whether it was coming here or going on to Dominican Republic. Well, it's anchored off the creek now, pumping out diesel for Cayman Brac. And then I think it's going from there to the Dominican Republic and maybe St. John's, Antigua and Barbuda, and then empty out and then head back to Houston. So you see it came America, Bahamas, Grand Cayman, Cayman Brac, Dominican Republic, St. John's, Antigua, and then come right back. So nothing about we are an out-the-way place. We are right in the route for them coming from America and going back to America. So that's what I want to verify to the public. Cayman Islands is not an out-of-the-way place to call it, to say that's why we have such high gas and diesel prices. They come through these waters on the way to other Caribbean islands and coming back from other Caribbean islands. And most of the big tankers that bring it to Grand Cayman in recent months and coming direct from Houston, fully loaded, then pop out there and then go on to the Dominican Republic or Antigua and even to Haiti. Stop here on the way up and go to Haiti or go to Antigua and Barbuda. Mm-hmm. They are the ports that Rubis supplies.
And by you reminding us of this, and you have that information readily available, perhaps more of us may not be so quick to take for granted some of the things that are being said, even when it's well intentioned. Now, Mr. Raymond, the vessels that cross our shores, you being you're obviously aware of them, but for the wider public, if they wanted to know, if a particular vessel will be crossing by, today, tomorrow, next day, how would they find out?
Someone would just call me to find out. If you're interested in knowing what's going by tonight, tomorrow, etc.,
mm-hmm.
they can call me and I'll be willing to tell them.
Mm-hmm. And is there like another way they could find? I mean, they may just have that thought, very, very late into the night, early hours in the morning. They didn't want to disturb you. Is information online, some registry or somewhere, or how would they know?
Yes, some people, lots of people have that app where they can look on what they call marine traffic and look out for ships like that.
Okay. Wow.
Also, the next one passing Grand Cayman is a loaded tanker coming from Trinidad with a product called anhydrous ammonia for growing crops in Texas. So Trinidad is one of America's biggest producers of fertilizers. That's anhydrous ammonia, which is a gaseous chemical, and they store that in the tanks in Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana. Then the tanker trucks comes and loads that, carries it to the farms, and then they pump that into the ground. That's why the ground keeps a repeat of growing crops. We have a ground cultivation, and you'll grow a couple of crops, and then you don't see it as good because the soil, they'll say, is dead. That's why the world can keep on producing with these kinds of chemicals added to the soil. Anhydrous ammonia, and it's a very corrosive and deadly poison substance as well, but here's what we humans consume from what the ships carry to keep the world going. Anhydrous ammonia from Trinidad, then they have the urea fertilizer from Trinidad as well. They're very popular into the United States for growing the crops, oranges, limes, lemons, cabbage, lettuce, tomatoes, you name it. That's what it's used for. But it's shipped on board big propane tankers. It's a gas like propane. And that one is coming by south of Grand Cayman. That should be around midnight tonight. That cargo will be passing just outside of 12 Mile Bank. And between 12 Mile Bank and 60 Mile Bank has become the second busiest lane in the Western Hemisphere for shipping traffic. At any given time, from south of Jamaica to west of Grand Cayman, it's around 35 to 40 ships any given time coming and going. Majority is going to and from the Panama Canal and then to all over the world from the United States. It is just incredibly interesting to know who comes by these islands. We are in the midst of the strategic point of passage, and so many of the world's seamen knows the Cayman Islands. They have been through our route. And another thing I want to touch on, my brother, Captain Radley, he traveled to Aruba from Miami yesterday morning on a 737-800, and he's there now to do 2 ship-to-ship transfers, which one is starting tomorrow. And he has a Filipino assistant mooring master with him, which the company has hired. Remember, I was telling you, suggesting to the public, if anyone wanted to learn how to become a tanker docking master, to get in contact with me or my brother, and we could find out what could be arranged for the company to employ someone and teach them, because my brother is retiring on the 27th of this month. But they want him to stay on because he is the most senior mooring master among 7 from Europe mostly. He is the senior mooring master on any technical jobs that are super risky and needs professional expertise. My brother is sent like a ship going aground, and they had to put another one alongside to get a dangerous cargo off in Key West, Florida some years ago. None of the other mooring masters was chosen. My brother is the only one that has that rating to go and do those ship-to-ship transfers. Also, he was chosen by the U.S. military to dock 2 military tankers in Florida for transshipping various military cargoes. That's quite an outstanding accomplishment to be chosen for that. So Captain Radley going to retire on the 27th of this month if the company doesn't persuade him to stay on longer. But he say he has enough of it now. You know, he's 73 years old, and he's still able to climb the ladder from the gangways, etc. But he needs a rest. I mean, he's 73, and he's been doing it now, I think, for about 35 years.
Well, you know, you remind us of, you know, the stalwart nature of our people, Mr. Raymond, and your brother, as you have shared, not only as a family can you be, you know, so proud as he's made us proud, but, you know, through him we can see what our people are made of. Thank you very much, Mr. Raymond, for sharing with us, sir.
Yes, you're most welcome. All the very best, and good afternoon to everyone, and my condolences to the other persons that lost their great loved ones here.
Yes, sir.
Yesterday, whatever.
Thank you for being, as usual, so respectful. You know, with Mr. Raymond's sentiments, we do share our condolences. Let's pause and take this last break. Please join us right after.
Busy, busy, busy. Feel like there's not just enough hours in the day. Savannah Pharmacy, service to make your life easier. Now you can WhatsApp your prescription order to 929-5045, and pickup is just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours including Sundays and holidays. WhatsApp your prescription order to 929-5045. Savannah Pharmacy, wholesome values with modern conveniences.
Aye, thanks for bringing me to your favourite Cayman place for Mother's Day shopping. We're just in the door and I see jewellery, candles, Cayman paintings and lotions Mom will love.
Let me tell you something. I discovered this gym years ago and I not shop nowhere else. I shop here for everything under the sun. Gifts for all occasions, and I get complimentary gift wrap too. The staff, they're so helpful, and there are always new gifts, cards, and local arts or prints.
Oh, Mum will love these wine glasses, and I'm buying other local goodies for Pure Art to do a gift bag.
Pure Art Gallery and Gifts on South Church Street is open Monday through Saturday for gifts that last a lifetime. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter will be taking appointments from May 9th through 14th at his Crew Road Clinic. Appointment slots are limited, whether you're seeking advanced skincare, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles. Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drportercayman@gmail.com or call 946-9020 to book your appointment today. That is 946-9020.
Are you a Caymanian status holder, or a resident of the Cayman Islands who is interested in enhancing transparency, accountability, ethical standards, and promoting awareness in public bodies? If you are civic-minded with the highest level of integrity, the Commission's Secretariat, on behalf of His Excellency the Governor, welcomes your expression of interest for appointment to the various statutory commissions. For more information on the commissions and candidate qualifications, visit the Commission's Secretariat website at www.commissionssecretariat.gov.ky.
Babes to Teens. In appreciation of all moms, Babes to Teens is taking 10% off baby and children's clothing. Also in stock are gifts for moms, perfumes, fan, plaques, teddy bears, gift bags, and more. So, head over to Babes to Teens at number 8 Plaza Venetia, North Sound Way, and enjoy savings until Monday, May 9th. Telephone 946-8157. Open Monday to Saturday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Happy Mother's Day to all mothers from Babes to Teens.
Christian Enlightenment Center is proud to announce our reopening just in time for Mother's Day. Our new location on the waterfront is Unit Number 3 in the white 2-story building on the ground floor. May 5th, we open from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. and begin regular hours on Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Our number is 929-4872. We look forward to seeing you at Christian Enlightenment Center's new location between Burger King and the helicopter landing pad on the waterfront in Georgetown.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners' participation program.
Talk today.
Because there are more questions than answers.
What the public is saying.
Waiting to take your calls right now. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome back and thanks for joining us. We've got a few more minutes of today's show as we continue with our open line. Hey, good afternoon. Welcome. Thanks for calling.
Hello?
How are you, Mom?
I am doing well. Good afternoon to you, Sterling Dwayne. I just wanted to, well, number one, it's good to hear you. But
thank you, Mom. Likewise.
Also, I am always very interested in hearing the gentleman who is so knowledgeable about maritime affairs and ships and, you know, he's a treasure trove of maritime information. And I guess maybe it's the maritime blood that flows through me and through all Caymanians, that you never get tired of hearing these things, even though he's talking about modern ships and how many are going to be expected every year until 20, whatever it is.
2030, you said, huh?
There's just so much information. But I really do appreciate the gentleman from the back, and also I just think that maybe he should have some kind of a, you know, the government should offer him some kind of a position. It's like he's a teacher on the air. And I just really appreciate his input every time I hear him on Radio Cayman. And it's like, oh, well, you know, he's not the shortest winded person, but I don't mind a long-winded person who has something of interest to say. And so I really
very informative,
it, and that's what I'm calling for, to say thank you to Mr. Scott and to say that I really do appreciate when he gives us all this information about, you know, the ships and our maritime heritage and so on.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, and
Thank you so much.
And thank you, too, for recognizing that he has so much to contribute, and he does. So thanks very much for that, too, ma'am.
God bless.
God bless.
Good afternoon.
You, too. All right. Shall we take another call, or shall we take lunch? 949-8037. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome.
Hello, good afternoon. Dwayne?
Hey, good afternoon. How are you?
I am fine. How are you?
Oh, I'm very blessed. No, very, very thankful. Indeed.
Amen. I got to get back into the studio sometime soon.
Well, you are a busy lady, you know, with your legal affairs, you know.
I got to get back in because there's some stuff that I want to share about legal cases, but they take longer to go through, and the 6 minutes won't do it this afternoon. So,
right.
But I came up on something recently that I want to share with you, with the public, and also hoping that maybe this call might solicit a little bit of a response back from the government. So, the UK government put out a guidance that's the information for healthcare professionals on COVID-19 vaccine. Pfizer BioNTech Regulation 174 was updated on the 27th of April 2022. So it's relatively recent. And in going through it, amidst all of the stuff that's on there, the guidance that they put out on there, there was one very concise statement. And I read it over. I got up from the computer, I mixed a cup of coffee, and I came back and I said, there's got to be more to this statement. So I read it again, and there was nothing else to it, because there's nothing I don't think that they can add to it. And let me just read that statement for you. And it says, so it's about the administration of vaccinations to persons using the Pfizer BioNTech vaccine specifically. Right? And then it looks at the pediatric population. And its statement is this: the safety and efficacy of COVID-19 mRNA vaccine BNT162b2 in children under 12 years of age have not yet been established. Let me read that again. The safety and efficacy of COVID-19 mRNA vaccine BNT162b2 in children under 12 years of age have not yet been established. This is from an updated report on the 27th of April 2022. Yet I know that I have heard the chant in this country saying that the vaccine is safe and effective for the use in children. And I really need some clarification on this. Because when this whole thing started out, we were following Public Health UK. Public Health UK is now saying, the UK government is saying, and it has said so for a long time, we just have never chosen to listen. We've put our own spiel out there. But it's saying as recent as the 27th of April, the safety and efficacy of the Pfizer vaccine has not yet been established for usage in children under the age of 12 years. So I'd like to know why our government, our doctors, our teachers, common citizens in our society, our neighbors, our friends, our family, are pressuring mothers and fathers to get their children vaccinated when those parents are saying, hold on, I have a few questions. I'm not sure. I have some doubt. I want more information. I don't think it's the right thing for my child. I just want to wait for a bit longer. Can you answer this question? Or simply saying, no, I don't want my child vaccinated.
Well, I'm glad that you referenced that, because for what it's worth, there have been a lot of people that have asked me if I was aware of it. I did, like you, follow some of the news publications, pay particular attention to some things more than others. And as you shared, I mean, this was the latest one on the 27th of April. There have been other ones early in the month and March, and we seem to referring to things that were published in February. Now, in some places, February to April, isn't a big span, but in some things it can be very significant, as you now sharing. So it has changed significantly since the February publication that I believe we might be still using in this country.
I'm a little bit unsure exactly what it is that we're using in this country, to be honest with you, because sometimes the door swings in and sometimes the door swings out, right? But I do want an answer to this, so I'm going to call the Premier's office. Hopefully I can get an answer. I am going to call the Ministry of Health. Hopefully I get an answer. I will share whatever information I get back with you. But I just want to say this to parents. Go read this for yourself. It's a very simple, you can't get it confused. There's no highfalutin language. There's nothing to create any confusion. It's just plain, simple English. Go read it for yourself. Go ask your doctors the question, how can you say that it's safe and effective if the safety and efficacy of it has not yet been established according to the UK government, who we say we were following? Right? Now, the other part about it is this, is that I don't think we have lost all parental rights in deciding about medical treatment for our children and stuff yet. I'm not against people vaccinating their children if they think that's the right thing for them to do for their children, because they're not my children, they're your children. But I don't think that it's prudent that if you have doubt about something that you should, push your child into the fire. And one of the reasons, two of the reasons that was given by the Health Services Authority when they put out the publication on it, if I remember that correctly, and I don't have that in my hand, but that it was so that your children didn't have to continue to test and so they could get their freedom of movement back. And then a parent who was thinking in that moment, having read that, must have said, but hold on, you took my child's rights away and you forced my child to extraordinary testing procedures, and now you want me to vaccinate my child so they can get their rights back that you took away from them? That's not that's not indicative of a free society, and that's a violation of the Nuremberg Code, and it's totally undemocratic. And you're preying on children who don't understand. They don't have the capacity to consent. They don't understand all that's happening, but they're trusting in their parents to do the right thing for them. And I'm not condemning a parent who has done their research and thinks that it's the right thing to do. And if it turns out to not be the right thing, at least they thought they were doing the right thing. But I just want to encourage parents that in light of this information, you need to go ask that question. And you need to ask it to the teachers who told you it was okay for you to do it. It was the right thing for you to do. You need to ask your pediatricians, and you need to ask your government. On what basis did you declare that this was safe and effective for me to vaccinate my child? Because the UK government is saying that it hasn't been established.
Well, I certainly appreciate you, reminding us of that. And as you read verbatim from the publication, as you said, it's not, confusing language. It's very, very direct, succinct, very understandable. So, thanks very much for sharing with us.
Thank you, and you have a wonderful day, and God bless you.
Amen. And God's blessings on you too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I received that. I need it. I can tell you there's some days you may think it's the pull of the moon. It may be, sprinkles from the heavens that may weigh on you. And other times you might just be the realization that we're not infallible. We're not invincible. We are not invisible, even though some may look and not see. But we have much to contribute if we will draw alongside each and every one of us has a purpose. Let us pray and be prayerful as we move about our day to ensure that we're positive, productive, and profoundly positioned to ensure that our populace, benefit immensely. I'm grateful to the wonderful team we have here, and especially for more days than not for Susan for sitting there. Smile sometimes, The sky is much, but the eyes indeed reveal the hidden truth. Well, tomorrow, my friends, be blessed.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, Tourism and Transport. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. And Savannah Pharmacy in Countryside Shopping Village, convenient opening hours including Sundays and holidays.
After all that talk, sit back,